Hello and happy Sunday. It's Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and it's another Sunday. Today is Sunday, May the 6th, and we already had May the 4th be with you and Cinco de Mayo. So hopefully everybody's had a great week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Facebook is going to behave itself tonight. It's not showing me that anyone is here yet. So who knows? Facebook is so quirky. Okay, yeah, so we have somebody here. Hey, Cheryl. Tonight, we are live. So if you're watching this with us on Sunday, May the 6th, hey, Carla, we are live. If you're not watching this with us live on Sunday, May the 6th, I'll say hello to you later. So, hey, Sylvia. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I promise I'll put down in the comments what time the actual content starts so that you don't have to see all the hi hellos. Hey, Karen. But if you would like to say hello, you are more than welcome to, and I promise I will answer you. So, hey, Janice. Yeah, you got workout attire today and very sweaty today. Hey, Betty, and hey, Tina. Karen bailed out on me. Hey, Loretta. Karen bailed out on me. She had other, fun things to do with family. So, yeah, so she bailed out on me. Hey, Joyce, and hey, Cheryl, and hey, my Christy. So she didn't walk with me, so I had to bum Dusty into doing it. But it was a gorgeous day here in East Tennessee. Hey, Marlene. Hey, Tina, and hey, Loretta, thank you. Gosh, I'm sweaty. Hey, Janet, but thank you. And, yeah, so I had to talk Dusty into going with me. And hey, Mary from Canada. Yeah, oh, Canada, oh, Canada. That's my favorite pavilion at Epcot. So, yeah, love it. So welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, Myra, and Casey says, Alyssa is a fussy bear, but I'm trying to watch. Alyssa, calm down. Calm down. Nona's on TV or whatever. Yeah, hey, Stacy. Hey, Mary. Hey, Laura. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the comments about the pink. And hey, Michelle. So Dusty walked 12,000 steps today because he was an unwilling victim, but I did let him stop at the dog park. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Marlene. And hey, Gladys. Hey, it's good to see you, Gladys. And hey, Dina. Yeah, Dina's from Maryland. So guys, tonight, there's Kathy. Aloha, Kathy. And hey, Janice. So guys, tonight, we have a whole lot to talk about. Yeah, and it's Sunday, May the 6th, in case anybody's just popping in. So yeah, we have a whole lot to talk about tonight. So we're going to really quickly go over last week. And we have so much to talk about tonight that we don't have, I didn't have time to make any food. Or it's not that I didn't have time to make anything. We don't have even time to talk about it. Yeah. And so Sylvia didn't get much exercise today because she was at a baseball tournament and she's just now on her way home. But you made it here, so that's awesome. Yeah, and Marlene, apparently you've got a buddy in Maryland. Hey, Tracy. And so anyway, we're going to be talking really fast tonight. I know I always talk fast. Hey, Janice. But tonight's going to be super fast. So I just wanted to warn you all, once I start, hey, Lynn, once I get going, hey, Jackie, once I get going, I'm not going to be able to read your comments tonight. So, hey, Kathy, yeah, because it's going to be that much stuff. We're talking about plateaus, and y'all have been blowing up, which is good. It's awesome. But y'all have been blowing up my messenger, and commenting, in the different groups that I'm in and things about plateaus. So this is going to be a really great subject. It's going to be a good subject. I needed it. Again, somebody from Weight Watchers has the loft bugged because they knew that I needed this topic this week. And I know a lot of you all need this topic, but it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Yeah, Sylvia says, I need this chat. Yeah, I will warn you. I'm going to get all up in your business because I've been all up in my business for the last couple of days. What we talked about last week, again, I've been doing this for almost 24 years. You would think that I would be, have a pretty thick, pretty calloused, wouldn't let things get to me. And I'm not saying, hey, Teresa, and I'm not saying that it got to me, but I was like, okay, yeah, okay, it's time to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself too. So y'all get to join me. Anyway, so it's going to be a whole lot of information. I'm already glancing at the clock because I need a timekeeper. Actually, I might need a couple of timekeepers. So for two things. So I need one person or a couple of people who can tell me when it's 8:20. I'm serious. We have so much to talk about. I have to have your help spacing this out, or we're going to talk until 10. But I need one person to tell me when it is 8:20. When it's 8:20, I just need you to yell time. So I know I can't hear you yell, so I just need you to type in all capital letters so I will see it. When it's 8:20, you need to type in all capital letters time. Yeah, so I have 3 volunteers. Yeah, thank you, Jackie, Carol, and Cheryl. Thank you. Yeah, and Cheryl's an awesome timekeeper. Also, okay, oh yeah, Michelle says 10 is fine with me. Michelle, I can't do it. I can't stay up till 10. Y'all know what kind of, hurry, life we live. Yeah, I have to go to bed at some time. So, okay, so I've got my timekeepers for 8:20. So at 8:20, the 3 of you all are going to go time in all capital letters so that I'll see it and I'll stop. Then we have 8 topics. 8 topics. And hey, Jonelle, it's Jonelle's first time watching us live. Hello. Yeah, it's Jonelle. Everybody say hello to Jonelle. It's Jonelle. Yeah, oh, and you're very welcome. But yeah, look what I did. I printed them in reverse. It only took me like an hour to figure out how to do that, but I printed them backwards so that you all could see them the right way. But anyway, so the reason for the 8:20 is, hey Carla, or sorry, to send how to Jonelle, never mind. So the reason for the 8:20 is because we have 8 of these to go over. So the second set of timekeepers that I need after 8:20, then I need somebody to tell me Teresa, it is not time, stop. Then every 5 minutes after that. So at 8:25, 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, 8:45, 8:50, 8:55, and at 9, I need somebody to say, ding. Yeah, I think, is that what I wrote in my notes? Hold on. Let me make sure. So, ding. Yeah. So on the 5. So at 8:20, 3 people are going to say time, T-I-M-E, exclamation in all capital letters. And then on the 5s after that. So at 8:25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, whatever. So on those 5s, then you all are going to say ding, D-I-N-G, and make me switch to the next one. If not, this is going to take forever. I think we're still going to run over. We're still going to go over 9 o'clock. I'm going to try and keep it to as little, after 9 as possible. If you all will have questions. Trust me, you're going to have questions. And Kim says, I will ding for you. That just sounds funny. And Teresa's already saying ding. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. It is not 8:25 yet. So yeah, y'all are going to have a lot of questions. You all are going to have a lot of comments, I have a feeling. Yeah, because I had a lot of questions and comments. And it's so funny. Teresa, ding. Lynn says, I will ding. Yeah, so y'all are awesome dingers. So yeah, does that make y'all ding-a-lings? Just kidding. Sorry, I had to say it. Okay, so that means we only have just a few minutes to talk about last week before we start talking about this week. Last week, who attended a meeting last week? Who attended a meeting last week, either a physical meeting, like I go to one here in Knoxville. So I attended a physical meeting on Tuesday, and then I also attended Sunday with us Sunday, of course. So if you attended a physical meeting or if you attended here with us Sunday, yeah, some of y'all already know. You've been here enough times, you already know, yeah. Thumbs ups if you attended your physical meeting or if you attended here with us. So that's lots of thumbs up. Thumbs ups. So YouTube people, I know y'all can't see this, but that's like a whole lot of thumbs ups. And YouTube people, or if you're watching this later on Facebook, and a couple of you did both. Yeah, Lynn did both, Joyce did both. Yeah, Gladys was on vacation, but that's okay, Gladys, because you're here tonight. So that counts as a meeting. Okay, yeah, and Kim did both. So here are your Bravo stickers. There you go. So if you're watching this later on Facebook or if you're watching this on YouTube, just comment, just put it in the comments below and I'll still give you your Bravo sticker. Yeah, so congratulations everybody that attended a meeting. So I definitely always have to go. Yeah, I've been doing this 24 years. I still, go off the chain if I don't attend every week. So, and Janice did both and she lost 2.6 pounds. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, so you get a fist bump too, Janice. Okay, so does anybody remember what your homework was for last week? Because you don't have long to tell me about your homework. So, what was your homework for last week? Last week's was 4 things. So, and Myra went to 2 meetings. So she went to her meeting and she attended here and she lost 7 pounds her first week. Michelle has lost 16. Sybil was down 1.2. Okay, then maybe y'all don't need the Plateau chat. Maybe we can just skip on to something else. I need the Plateau chat though. Okay, so what was your homework for last week? Anybody remember? Okay, y'all are talking about weight losses, which are awesome. So I'm gonna skip to what our topic was last week so that we can do this on time so that when y'all start saying time that I'll actually be ready. Okay, last week was be kind to yourself. So this is your weekly, and if you go to a, what? Carla lost 17 last week, 2 weeks after surgery. You're gonna have to explain that to me, but awesome, yeah. So, okay, and remember, once we get going, I apologize now. I will apologize now. I will not have time to look at and answer all of your questions once we get going, or all of your comments once we get going, because we have to cover all of these in 40 minutes. So yeah, so once we get rolling, I won't be able to read them, other than the people telling me that it's time to move on to the next one. So last week, and Susie did it. Yeah, so last week it was be kind to yourself. This is your weekly, and if you attend a physical meeting, make sure that you oh, that's right, Carla, you had gastric bypass. Sorry, the brain's not working right now. So get your weekly. So if you attend a physical meeting, always grab one of these. If you missed a week, ask the receptionist. They always have them, or they should always have them. And if you are online only, or if you didn't get a chance to get one, you can always get these from online on WeightWatchers.com. Yeah, so do that. This was your weekly. And yes, last week we talked about being kind to yourself, and that's going to flow over a little bit into this week's, because I'm going to beat you up pretty hard, because I beat myself up pretty hard this week, but it was a good beat up. You know, sometimes you just need your mom or dad to just put you across their knee and just give you a whipping. Yeah, and this is what this Plateau chat is. So it's not a bad thing. You know, what is it? Spare the rod and spoil the child. So apparently I had been sparing the rod with myself. This is not a bad thing. Remember, we're being kind to ourselves. We're being kind. So we have to incorporate that into the Plateau talk too. So your homework was write down a scenario that could make somebody feel bad. You know, could make someone feel bad. Mine was the chip scenario. You know, the snack accident. You know, going overboard with the, like, way overboard with the chips. Then you were supposed to write a note to yourself in your own tone of voice, your normal tone of voice, not your I just listened to the chat and so now I'm going to sound sweet voice, but your normal voice. Write a note. Then you were going to write the same note, but you were going to write it as if it was to a friend that was having a hard time. And then you need to, because it's going to sound completely different. What you would tell a friend is going to sound completely different than what you would have written to yourself first round. Now, hopefully, second round, third round, fourth round, hopefully your notes are becoming kinder and kinder, and you're becoming more, you know, a cheerleader for yourself. But then you need to fold your note. You need to fold your note in half and just tuck it away somewhere. Like, write a little note on the outside that says, "Open me when you need a BFF." So, you know, you may not even remember what's in this. I don't want you to write on here, this was the note Kelly made me write about being nice to myself. Don't write that on the outside. I want you to have a little stash of all these things that we work on every week, so that you don't know what's inside of them, you know, and maybe you've forgotten what it is, but when you come to that day, you know, in a couple of months, in a year, you know, 5 years down the road, and you pull out your little box, or you know, like I've got some of mine in in this drawer right here in the kitchen, you know, but when you pull those back out and you just see this note that says, you know, read me when you need a BFF, on the day that you need a BFF, and you open it, you're going to be surprised at your note. You know, I think it's a great idea. So hopefully you all did that. Oh gosh, okay, I'm actually talking really fast, so we're doing great. Yeah, so hopefully you all did that. Hopefully, oh, and let's see, Teresa said I started doing it every morning and reading them every night. Yeah, that's great. And Tina said I never found how to print the weekly. Okay, so since we have just a minute, I actually brought the computer over here, you know, just in case Facebook did not let me have the, in case it didn't let me have your comments. So I'm just going to look that up here real quick. And let's see, Janice says, boy, I sure missed that for some reason. Was I here? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you were, Janice. Okay, so I'm going to log in to Weight Watchers. I'm just going to log into WeightWatchers.com, and remember, you have to have a Weight Watchers membership or an eTools, or be an online member to be able to access this. And then what you do is, let me find it here real quick so that I can tell you. Oh, let me also point out and see. And I can't, if y'all are typing, I can't see it because I'm looking at the computer. But anyway, yeah. So also, for those of you who have the If You Have an Egg app, Hey Jennifer, if you have the If You Have an Egg app, and hey Popsicle, if you're Google, if you're Android, they have a new privacy policy, and I'll just let you know that I am working on how to fix that because they have temporarily shut the Android version of the If You Have an Egg app. They've temporarily shut it down until I update my privacy policy. Apparently there is something about the app, I have no idea what, but it thinks that we are trying to collect pictures and email addresses. No, that we're trying, I guess it's with all this privacy stuff, that it thinks that we're trying to collect this data, and so it wants me to do a new privacy policy. Well, I don't know how to do that, so I've had to ask for some help. But anyway, okay, so let me scroll down here. This is under so once you're logged into WeightWatchers.com and you have logged in, then you're going to go, and I can't show you, I can't turn the phone around, but you want to go to, let me find it, come on. I think it's under living. I don't have to go back and print them out very often, but let's see. Oh, come on, don't make me mess up our time here. Like, let's see, next week is about well, this is funny. I thought I was going to be able to tell you where to go, but I'm having trouble finding it. I have found it many times before. Somebody help me. Is it down at the bottom? And I'm on the laptop instead of on my computer, so maybe that's it because it looks different. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so down at the bottom it's recommended articles. Okay, so you are on WeightWatchers.com, you're on My Day, and you go down to, okay, and y'all are talking about colored pencils, so I'm getting excited now. Okay, and you go down to recommended articles, and so like next week, what's coming up this next week is instead of eating. So you would just click on instead of, so for next week, can you get it on the Weight Watchers app? No, you can. Okay, you can get the current week. You can get on the Weight Watchers app. So, and I don't know what y'all were talking about. Yes, next week is instead of eating. So on the app, and I can't show you because we're on my phone, and we have about 3 minutes left. But so on the app, when you're on the home page for your app, if you scroll all the way down, it'll have the weekly topic, the weekly meeting topic on there. But when you pull it up, you can't print from that. And it's most of it, but it's not quite the full thing. I don't know. I like having them printed. I like having the printed copy because I do make a lot of notes. Well, last week I didn't make a whole lot because we had a guest speaker. But like this week, I have notes on every single page. See, every single page has a note on it. And this week, just because when we get going, we're going to get going fast. This week, the recipe looks amazing. Mozzarella roasted pepper and basil omelet. Yeah, that one looked really, really good. Okay, so let's switch back to today. Okay, so a couple of things real quick. If you're watching this later on YouTube, please do not forget to like and subscribe. That helps to, kind of helps my numbers, kind of helps me keep me up there so that other people can find us. So how many of you are here for the live chat because you found us on YouTube, because you found us on an on-demand, yes, you can still, Michelle says, can you still pay for the meetings as you go? Yes, Michelle, you can still pay for the meetings as you go, or if you do a monthly pass, there's a discount. But how many of you, so let's do a thumbs up, how many of you are here for the live chat because you found, hey Suzanne, because you found us on YouTube? So you searched something on YouTube, and my husband was playing with that today. He was like, I'm just seeing if I can find you. Anyway, he did find me, and he had YouTube up on the TV, and that was kind of weird because it was like a giant, TV screen. Anyway, and I didn't know what he was doing, and I went, that's weird. That sounds like me. Okay, Teresa says it's time. Okay. So, big sip of water. Look, because we're going to go fast. Okay, this week's topic. Thank you, Teresa. This week's topic is the scale standoff. So, who here has ever had a scale standoff? Who here has ever experienced a plateau? Yeah. So let's see some hearts. Yeah, let's see some hearts. If you've ever had, thank you, Cheryl, time. So let's see some hearts. If you've ever had a plateau, yeah, you know, or some hands ups or something, you know. And if you're not, if you're watching this later, on Facebook, or if you're watching it on YouTube, you can't do a heart or, you know, or a high five. So just show me a hand or say me or whatever. Okay, so yeah, it's all of us. So this is going to keep going and going and going and going and going. So my first thing is, and look at this, look what I did. I printed these backwards. I printed them backwards so that you all could read them. Yeah. How smart am I? But it took me like an hour to figure it out. Anyway, now that I figured it out, I can do it. So only for things that I'm printing out. So does anyone know, and I wrote my notes on the back and the light is so bright I'm having trouble reading them, so hold on a second. Oh, and Lori says, where did you get that cute camper cup? Does somebody here who's on the chat want to let her know where the cute camper cup came from since you are here? Okay, so what's the difference between maintenance and a plateau? Does anybody know what the difference between maintenance and a plateau is? Hey, Janet. Yeah, maintenance versus a plateau. Because remember, we only have 5 minutes for each topic. So I'm going to keep going. Yeah, Popsicle. Yeah, will you let her know? Okay, so the difference is, and this is according to Weight Watchers. According to Weight Watchers, a plateau is when you have not had more than a 0.2 weight loss 3 weeks in a row. Okay, I didn't write that rule. It's not a rule. I didn't write that definition. That is Weight Watchers definition. I don't really agree with that, that exact number. And I guess they just had to put a number on it, you know, because you have to give everything a name. Yeah, there have been weeks that I thought 3 weeks in a row of losing 0.2. I was like, yeah, you know, yes, I lost weight 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, so I don't exactly agree with the 0.2. I'm gonna say that a plateau, though, is when you've hit whatever amount of time it is, and it might be, you know, 3 weeks, it might be 3 months, but a plateau is when you're just kind of stuck. You know, you're just stuck in a flat spot, and you don't know how to get off the flat spot. So you're just kind of stuck, and everything, you know, everything was, you know, rolling along or whatever, and it's just, you're just kind of stuck in a flat spot. Then maintenance, on the other hand, is intentional. And maintenance, it might be intentional because, you know, you might be at goal. You know, like I'm on maintenance. So if you're at goal or near goal and you're on maintenance, you have intentionally stayed the same weight. So when you're on maintenance with Weight Watchers, when you're on intentional maintenance with Weight Watchers, your weight still does this. So it still does the same thing. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Since I hit Lifetime, my weight has not done this. I haven't stayed at goal the whole time. It has done this. You know, hopefully it's a nice little roll. It's more like, you know, it's like a little baby roller coaster, and then all of a sudden, woo, woo, you know, and it goes like that. So, yeah, but maintenance is more intentional. So you're intending to lose and gain the same amount of weight to maintain, you know, to stay at an average. So remember, it's always going up and down, but you're trying for an average. And it might be because you're at goal. It might be because of circumstances. So some people have to put themselves into maintenance because they, like if there's, let's say if you have an ill parent and you're going to have to move in with them for 6 months, you know, you might want to think about going, you know, putting yourself into intentional maintenance so that you're not going crazy, you know, trying to stay on plan. Or if you're going to be traveling for an extended period of time, you know, if you're, you know, going out of the country, you know, for a long time, or some, you know, some circumstance where you just think, you know, I just need to try and just hang on for dear life. You know, I've made it this far, however far this far is, whether it's 5 pounds or 50 pounds. You know, if you think, you know, okay, this is a time in my life where I just need to hang on. You know, you started a new medication. I had that happen last month, and I'm about ready to kill my doctor because I didn't want to switch. And I don't like the new medication. I don't like it. But anyway, last month was a struggle. So, you know, if you get new medication, if you're going through that special change, if you're a woman, you know, there are going to be times in your life where you need to put yourself on, maintenance. So it's intentional. So maintenance is intentional. A plateau, you're just kind of stuck. You know, you're stuck and you need something to kind of, you know, shove you over the, hey Randy, to kind of shove you over the, you know, off of it, to get you, you know, to get you off of dead center. Okay, and I knew that was coming soon. So Cheryl says ding. Okay, this is where they're going to start getting uncomfortable. So everybody just hang on. Don't get too mad at me. Yeah, thank you, Kim, thank you, Gladys. So don't get too mad at me. Some of these are going to, kind of be a little bit painful, but I had to talk to myself about them too. Okay, has anybody ever been in a rut plateau? So in the rut plateau means, you're eating the same thing for breakfast, you're eating the same thing for lunch, you're eating the same thing for supper. You've had chicken. You've had chicken so many times until you're going to sprout feathers. I mean, you literally feel like you're going to sprout feathers. So, in a rut means you're just doing the same old. Okay, if you're in a rut, it is time to mix it up. Mix it up. You have got to mix this up. So I'm bad about never even coming close to a rut because I have something different almost every day. For the first time in like a month, I'm considering having what I had for supper tonight. I'm considering having that for lunch on Monday and lunch on Wednesday. So I don't think I'm ever in a rut plateau with my eating. So, but I know a lot of you, well, my accountability buddy Karen, her lunch at work is so predictable. I could pack it for her. And it's funny because when she deviates from that, the people at work are like, hey, what's going on? That's not what you eat for lunch, because she eats the same thing for lunch every day. So if you're doing that, if you're stuck in a rut, you've got to stop. You've got to stop, and you got to mix it up a little bit. And mixing it up a little bit doesn't mean you have to have 7 different days of meals. It doesn't mean you have to have 7, but you need to mix it up a little bit. Try a new food. Try something you've never had before. Even my no vegetable eater people, try something. I bought jicama sticks. I bought sticks that are already cut into, it's jicama, but it's already cut. I bought those this week because I thought, Casey and I are going to try a new snack. So I know I'm wearing Casey out on carrots. She's not fond of carrots, but she will eat them if I pack them. And I have packed carrots for her every day. So, so I got the jicama to try and, shake it up a little bit so that we could have something different. I make her lunch on Mondays and Wednesdays while we're there in the showroom. And, it's great. Randy says, what if you don't cook much? And remember, remember guys, I'm not going to have time to answer every question since we have 5 minutes per these. But Randy, real quick, because that is a great question. If you don't cook much, there are so many pre-made meals, or you can pre-make some, but or go on Pinterest, or like I've got a lot of on my I've got an eating out chat on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com that talks about eating out. You can find some different things. You don't have to be a cook, and I wasn't really a cook. The 2 appliances that I use absolutely the most, hands down, one is my air fryer, and you don't have to be a cook to use the air fryer. The other one is my waffle iron. I even made John's toast in the waffle iron today. But anyway, so get outside of that comfort zone. Do something different. You have to get yourself out of a rut. Ask one of us. We can give you some ideas. If you're in the If You Have an Egg closed group, trust me, those ladies have lots of ideas. Also, shake it up a little bit on the your exercise. So do something different for your exercise. Like I was walking long, and thank you, Nicole, for posting the website. But I was walking long. Oh, Randy, we've got tons of air fryer ideas. Anyway, I was doing long walks. Okay, so I've been stagnant this last month, especially with the change in medication. So, once he changed my medication, I just had the munchies all the time, and it didn't seem like anything I did last month worked. Nothing was going like, okay, I thought I was doing everything right, but by the end of the chat, we'll see. Me too, I'm guilty too. But I had to change it up a little bit. So instead of these long walks, I went back to walking 2 shorter walks a day. I also had to change the setting on my Fitbit because I had it set at 10,000 and I wasn't getting in 10,000, and then I was getting frustrated. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But so now I'm doing 2 short walks 3 to 4 days a week. John and I are still trying to do the Plateau to be something different, and Casey and I are doing Planet Fitness, so it's a little bit different. So we've been doing something different. That also means that something different for my muscles, so that they're not all the same muscles. Oops, it's time. Thank you, Sybil. All the same muscles are not getting the same workout every time, so it's different. Thank you, Carol. So it's something different. Okay. Hi, Evie. Okay, a light bulb plateau. Okay, and yeah, guys. So okay. So just keep listening. Sylvia's asking, what if you're doing everything right and it's just, and it's just stuck? Keep Keep watching. I promise one of these is you. Thank you, Lynn, for dinging. Thank you, Kim, for dinging. Thank you, Cheryl, for dinging. Okay, so the next one, a light bulb plateau. Thank you, Gladys. So the next one, light bulb plateau. How many of you are the light bulb plateau? I'm on. I'm off. I'm on. I'm off. So I'm on plan. I'm on track. I'm doing everything right. I'm on. Weight Watchers, I am on my workout program. I am on. I'm off. So light bulb plateaus, those are really bad because you don't know, if you're on 3 days and then off 3 days, or on 3 days and off 1 day. If you end up, I hate to say it, but a lot of times with a light bulb plateau, you end up being off more than you're on, or you're on when you're in public, or you're on when you're talking to people in our group or in another group that you're in. So you're on, and you might be doing great, everything's going fabulous, and then something happens and you're off. Well, an on-off plateau, that can be, it doesn't sound like much, but if you're in one, yeah, you just have to figure out what's going to get your light bulb to be on. So this is where Sybil says her hubby is a light bulb. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So this is where you might have to enlist the help of other people. You might have to say, okay, look, hey Connie, you might have to say, okay, look, I'm having an issue with this. I do not want that, or please do not tempt me with this, or please help me with this. It doesn't always have to be negative. You don't have to be negative and tell people not to do things. When we were going to Planet Fitness on Saturday, because remember, I've been prepping for the chat all week, so I had all of these discussions with myself, and so Saturday morning, I had my breakfast, then I had a snack, then I had another snack before we went to Planet Fit. So I had my breakfast before I went to work, had a snack at work, and then I had a snack right before we left to go to Planet Fitness. And I apologized to Casey and I said, hey, I brought a snack. I'm sorry I didn't bring you a snack. Are you okay with that? And she said, yeah, I'll stop and grab something. So there are at least 10 places to grab something that's not horrible on the way to Planet Fitness. And when we got there, she said, do you want something? And I said, no. And she said, well, then we just won't go. And I said, no, I want you to go. I want you to go. And then she said, are you sure you don't want something? Are you sure you don't want something? And I said, I do not. I am on. I am on today. And I want to be on today. And I want to be on all day. So what I did is I made a commitment to myself, even if I couldn't say, I'm going to be on all week. I'm going to be on all week. I promised on Tuesday, after a little chit chat at Weight Watchers, on Tuesday, I said, okay, I'm going to be on Wednesday. So I tracked on Wednesday. I planned everything that I was going to have on Wednesday. I actually pre-tracked everything I was going to have on Wednesday. So I was on Wednesday. So do it one day. Sometimes you have to do it one day at a time. Then Wednesday went well. And I was like, okay, there shouldn't be anything out of the ordinary coming for Thursday. So I'm going to be on Thursday. Then Friday, then Saturday. So it's Sunday, and guess what? I've been on more days than I've been off. So it's weird. It's one of those habits where once you kind of get but once you get yourself out of it, then it's easier to be on than it is to be off. That's like, have you heard, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. So smiling is a very natural, obviously it's a very natural movement for me, and frowning is not. So this is just another habit, being on, and this is sign language for light, for like a light. So being on more than being off is just a habit, but you have to get yourself on the first day. Okay, so yeah, so Wednesday was my first day, and I kicked it Wednesday, and it made it a lot easier for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Saturday, it made it a lot easier when Casey was offering something, again, not a horrible food. It wasn't anything bad, but when she was offering, it was a lot easier for me to say, no thanks, because I was saving that to have pizza with Nana, because she had made a special request. Oop, ding, okay, I knew we were getting close. Okay, thank you, Teresa. Okay, the next one is tracking in my head plateau. Hello, this is me. This one, thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Carol. This one is me tracking in my head. Yeah, it doesn't work, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, Cheryl. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Thank you, Kim. And yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm so guilty of this. So here's what'll happen. You know, because, you know, I've been doing this forever, you know, then I think, oh, you know, no problem. I can handle it. You know, oh, I can remember what I had for breakfast. I know the points for everything. And sometimes I feel like that because I have, you know, people will say, hey, how many points is in such and such? And I'll go, it's 4, or it depends which size are you getting, or are you getting the kid size, or are you getting the big size, you know, or whatever, you know, but I can pretty much tell them some, you know, a lot of things, you know, like they'll say, you know, oh, hey, Kelly, we're headed to Taco Bell, and they don't care, they're not tracking points, they just sometimes like to know, you know, hey, Kelly, how many points are in a, you know, a Taco Bell, you know, the crunchy, what am I trying to say? Cool Wrap, you know, crunchy taco. 4. There's 4 points in it. So, because I feel like I know everything, then a lot of times I track it in my head. And then here's what happens. So I'm going along through the day pretty good, you know, didn't write it down. I'm going to track it later. Don't worry. I'm going to track that tonight, or I'm going to track it when I get a minute, or when I sneak in the bathroom at work, and, you know, before I go in the bathroom at work, you know, or sometimes I go in the bathroom and hide for a few minutes, but I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to track it there. And then nighttime comes and their dinner plans change, or the weekend comes and I'm thinking, uh-oh, I forgot to track Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know how many points I have left. I don't know how many weeklies I have left. Well, guess what? Maybe I did great tracking all day in my head, but then I have no idea what I have left for the, you know, for the rest of the week. It's kind of a setup for failure. So remember, I've been on since Wednesday. So guess what I have done before I put it in my mouth all week? So Wednesday, I was on. I tracked before anything went in my mouth, and I tracked it as I was packing it. Then Thursday, tracked it as I was packing it and before it went in my mouth. Friday the same, Saturday the same. So Saturday, Nana wanted, she's got this weird new thing for Dr. Pepper, but that's fine. I will bring her as much Dr. Pepper as she wants. Since she's been in the nursing home for the last 2 years, her tastes have really changed, and it's almost impossible to get her to eat because she still wants to be vegan. She can't really be in the nursing home, so we have downgraded her, I guess, to vegetarian. But it's still hard to get them to make things that are vegetarian that actually taste like something, because they just want to bring her, like, you know, green beans and apples every day or something, you know, and they don't put any seasoning in them or anything. I'm like, she's vegetarian, you know, she's not dead. You got to put some, you know, you got to put some flavor in it. But so she called Friday and said, okay, I'm making my list. You know, she's not great, but she's feeling well enough that she's calling ahead and giving me her order now. So on Friday, she called and said, hey, I just wanted to go ahead and I'm sorry, I'm going to say something right here. So yeah, Susie and Christy are talking about taking a picture of it with your phone. Do y'all want to know how many pictures I have on my phone of food? Yeah, so that is an awesome idea, as long as you're not a picture addict like me, because yeah, just for me personally, that wouldn't work, but it is an awesome idea if you don't take 1 million pictures a day like me. But anyway, so she called, she was out of Dr. Pepper. She said, I ran out of Dr. Pepper at midnight. And I thought, how do you know you ran out of Dr. Pepper at midnight? She never drank Dr. Pepper. She was a Tab woman, like my whole existence, until Tab quit being in existence. And then she switched to Diet Coke. I don't know where the Dr. Pepper thing came from, but she's losing weight, and they keep asking me to bring her things that'll try to stimulate her appetite, you know, whatever. So I'll bring you Dr. Pepper. This week she requested that pizza that I saw on the commercial that has cheese in the crust. Well, I deciphered that to be a Little Caesars stuffed cheese crust pizza. So I had already planned, you know, that's 13 points for one piece. So I had already planned that in. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, I'd have just gone, psh, you know, whatever, I can keep up with it. I can track it in my head, and I can know how much. Well, because I tracked it, and I had tracked all day Saturday, even with my pizza that I had at Nana's, I still had points left for popcorn. Okay? So instead of it being oh no, I'm out of points, before I went to bed on Saturday night, I was like, oh my gosh, I still have points for popcorn. So see, I mean, it was a glorious moment, and it wasn't like, we'll talk about a different thing about points in a minute. Okay, Kim's saying ding. Okay, so we got to move on. Okay, the next one is, I'm going to take a sip of water real quick because I'm talking really fast. Thank you, Lynn, Gladys, and Carol. Thank you for the dings. Okay, so the next one is Blue Dot Plateau. And actually, that's the one I said we were going to talk about here in just a minute. Thank you, Sybil. Okay, so the tracking in my head when I was talking about having points left over. Okay, and yes, Tina, it was Skinny Pop. Yeah, so Blue Dot Plateau. So how many of you, and I know you're there, you may not be on the live chat, you may be watching this later, you may be watching this on YouTube, but I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. I've seen you ask about it. I have talked to you about it. Whoever you are, I have talked to you about it, and you still do it. Okay, this is the really uncomfortable part. This one's really uncomfortable. You are out there. You are out there, and you know it. Okay, I have so many people that are, these are not new Weight Watchers. These are not new Weight Watchers. Yeah, and Cheryl's exactly right. Blue Dot means nothing to me. I don't want you to completely forget about them, but you've got to stop obsessing over them. These are not brand new Weight Watchers. These are not people who don't understand the program. These are seasoned Weight Watchers. Seasoned Weight Watchers who have taken this, freestyle means you can, you know, what is it she says on the commercial? The freedom to eat whatever you want. Okay, yes, you can eat whatever you want, but the Blue Dots, I'm almost of the opinion that they should get rid of them. Yeah, because I know that they have extended the range, you know, from 10, you know, it's 10 below and like 5 over, I don't remember. But anyway, the Blue Dots, I see people every day, and you're out there somewhere, who are eating 0-point foods all day long. Just 0-point foods all day long. And then at night, you're saying, I've got 30 points or 20 points or 15 points or whatever to eat. Anything I want. So I see them. Oh, and Carol, don't worry, we still have more. Yeah. Carol says she's not relating to any of these so far, but we still have more. So I see people all the time that they're eating 0 point because they're counting them as free. They are not free, but they're counting them as 0-point foods. Or not counting them as zero, they're 0-point foods, and so they're like filling up on them, not even filling up, they're like loading up on them, and in weird amounts. So if this is you, I am not saying this to belittle you. I'm not saying this to make fun of you. I need you to understand you can't eat as many 0-point foods as you all are, you know, as some people are eating, and then fill up on junk at night. So I have one person who's doing this. She's eating 6 bananas a day. 6 bananas a day. I just need to point this out. Okay, let me tell you what she's doing first. So 6 bananas a day. She's eating almost all 0-point food. She's not spreading it out at all. So she's even though she's consuming a lot of food, she's hungry. She's not satisfied. She's not satisfied because she's not eating anything but 0-point foods. I love chicken breasts. I love eggs. I love eggs. I can't eat eggs all day long. I can't eat chicken breasts all day long. You've got to have something different. But she's eating all 0-point foods, and then at night she goes crazy. I mean crazy, and eats like, you know, a pint of Halo Top and a thing of, you know, popcorn, and I mean all this junk food. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have Halo Top or popcorn. I eat popcorn a lot, but she's eating all this junk food at night because she's saved up all these points. Let me tell you what the bananas are real quick before y'all say ding. 6 bananas, she's eating 6 bananas a day. 6 bananas have 630 calories. 630 calories. I eat bananas, but remember last week we talked about a banana is 2 servings. She's eating 12 servings of bananas, so 6 bananas is 630 calories and 86 grams of sugar. So even though that's 0 points, 630 calories, 86 grams of sugar, that's too much. That's too much. And then she's eating candy, you know, at the end of the day. Think about this, a cup of Frosted Flakes cereal. So Frosted Flakes was the most sugary cereal that I could think of, but 1 cup of Frosted Flakes is 147 calories and only 13 grams of sugar. So yeah, she could count, and that's 6 points. So she could count, oh, it's already time, ding. She could count 6 points and have a cup of Frosted Flakes and maybe be more satisfied, you know, instead of all these bananas. Anyway, 6 bananas, yeah, don't do it. Okay, that's a blue dot plateau. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Kim, Carol, Lynn, you're all saying ding, okay. Okay, this one, the creep plateau. And I have a visual for this one. This one, I am so bad. This is me. This has Kelly written all over it. So you can't let creep happen. You just can't let creep happen. You've got to measure, mark. You have to know bites, licks, and tastes. Who was it earlier that said BLT or bites, licks, and tastes? So years ago in Weight Watchers, we had one meeting was all about BLTs. That's bites, licks, and tastes. You wouldn't believe how many points can creep in if you take a bite of someone else's something to test it, if you lick something to taste it, you know, lick your child's ice cream, you know, like you get an ice cream for your child and you know how it's all, you know, like a soft serve and it's always drippy around the bottom and you've got to lick that, you know, you got to get it cleaned up for them. That's a lick, or you're just going to take a taste of something. So those bites, licks, and tastes can really, they can add up. So let me show you a couple of things. So the creep plateau, I'll put it back up before we get done. Let me show you just a couple of things. So here is creep. Here's creep. Remember we talked about this last week. This literally is creep. So that's an apple. That's 1 serving of an apple. That is 2 servings of apple. But this is what I've been buying and counting as 1 apple. Is an apple 0 smart points? Sure. Is 2 apples 0 smart points? Sure. But seeing 2 apples in my tracker, yeah, Susie says she's a creeper. Yeah, I am too. So seeing 2 apples in my tracker though, made me buy these. This is 1 apple. Okay, that is a form of creep. Another form of creep, I absolutely love skim milk and chips, but I love skim milk and I'll pour it and pour it and pour it and pour it and pour it, and then I hardly ever buy it because I love it so much. And then, but then before you know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's out. Where did it go? Who broke into the loft and drank our skim milk and apparently used dishes and wore clothes, you know, or used towels? So now I only, and Gwen taught me this. She's so smart. She's such a smart lady. She taught me this. She said, pick something that has measurements, you know, that, or not measurements, but that you can, you know, use. So this is my skim milk glass. This is a fruit jar. It's just a little fruit jar, but this bottom rim right here, that's what I measure to. That's what I measure my skim milk to. I don't creep above it. That's what I measure it to, because if I put it in a regular glass, I cannot, you know, I can't control it. Okay, this one, yeah, this one's kind of funny, but it's not funny. So this, okay, ignore the little bleck on the outside, but so that, I think everybody can agree, is 1 level tablespoon, right? So that is, except for the schmutz around the outside, this is 1 level tablespoon of fluff. 1 level tablespoon of fluff is 1 smart point. But let me show you what happens with creep. So I put it in, you know, I put it in the fluff container, I scrape it out on the side, and there's some on the top. So then you level it off, and I do this with peanut butter too. So I put the tablespoon in the peanut butter jar and I pull it out, and then I level it off. Well, here's what I, well, and they're hard now because they've been sitting out, but anyway, here is what I scraped off the top. So you know what would normally happen? I would measure my tablespoon and I would write down 1 smart point. Lick. Yeah, lick, 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 and clean that up. I'm really bad about it. I'm not so bad about it with fluff. I'm really, 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 really bad about this with peanut butter. Really bad. So if I've gone to all the trouble to flatten the top, you know, to scrape it off, you know, and level that tablespoon and make it into a tablespoon, and then I lick what I just took off of the tablespoon, that's creep. That is creep. So yeah, so don't let creep happen, because it will. It'll happen really fast, really fast. So that is the creep plateau. When you let it creep, when you've stopped measuring, you know, you think you know, oh, I know how much everything is, you know, I know how big it is. Now this is, the creep is different. It's different from like going to someone's house to eat and you have to use your hands to try and figure out about how much, you know, a serving is. You know, you're trying to think, you know, okay, is this the size of a deck of cards? Dang it, it's already time. Anyway, creep. Creep is different. Creep is different and a lot of y'all are creep. So creep is different. Thank you, Lynn. Is different. Thank you, Sybil. Is different from guesstimating if you go to somebody's house. Okay, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah. Okay, so the next one, an attitude plateau. Okay, this, thank you, Gladys. This is what Accountability Karen was talking about in her post 2 days ago, I think it was. It was 2 to 3 days ago. Okay, so, yeah, and Randy says she found the fluff. She finally found the fluff, and then she said, whoever said not to be at home with it alone, that was me. Yeah, don't do it. Okay. So this is what Accountability Karen was talking about the other day. An attitude plateau means that your attitude, you're having an attitude issue. But the attitude is, what your attitude is your desire to lose weight greater than your desire to eat. So it doesn't just mean to eat on plan, but is your desire to lose weight greater than your desire to eat. So I'm going to set this one down again because I've got to do some hand, motions here. So, okay, so, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 5 pounds, whatever it is, I want to lose 5 pounds by next month or 50 pounds by next year or whatever it is your desire to lose that weight. Is it greater than your desire to eat? So tonight when I get done with the chat, yes, I want to lose weight. Yes, I have been, instead of just doing this on maintenance this last month and a half, I've been doing this. So it hasn't been like this, but I've been doing this little, if you can see how my hand's going, this little gradual, uptick. So I'm back, let's see, as of last Tuesday, I was back up to 6 pounds over goal, which A, cost me $11 a week. I don't like that. B, that is way outside of my comfort zone. I try to, me personally, try to keep it to within, even though Weight Watchers says 2 pounds, I try to keep it within 3 because 3, I can gain or lose 3 pounds in a day. Above 3, that's just getting out of hand. But anyway, so this whole last month and a half, when I've been on this new medicine that I don't like, my desire to lose weight was still there. But we're gonna make a scale here. So my hands are gonna be the scales. Okay, these are vanilla cupcake goldfish, and 35 of them, 35 vanilla cupcake goldfish are 3 to 4 points. See, I just said I know the points for everything and it's leaving my head right now. But anyway, so I can very successfully count out 35 vanilla cupcake goldfish and be very happy with them. Okay, but this last month and a half, I had to do this. Yeah, and so now today I'm really thinking about it. So is my desire to lose weight greater or my desire to eat this whole bag? A whole bag. Yeah, so I have a clip on it right now because remember I'm back on. But yeah, so this last month and a half when I had the munchies and just couldn't stand it, a whole bag of these is 32 points. They're tiny, they're this big, and you can, stick a handful of them in your mouth and they're gone in just a second. But I had to stop and think, okay, what's my attitude? What is my attitude? Am I more, do I want to lose weight more, or do I want an entire package of vanilla cupcake goldfish more? So that is what an attitude plateau is which one. So is your desire to lose weight greater than your desire to eat? I will also say on an attitude plateau, there are a whole bunch of people with their knickers in a wad big time over freestyle. I will say this, I haven't heard anybody who's brand new to freestyle whining and moaning and, carrying on as much gnashing of teeth with new people to freestyle as I have long time Weight Watchers. So I know this one's uncomfortable to talk about too, but I need you to check your attitude. So, who are you mad at? Are you mad at Weight Watchers for changing it to freestyle? Are you mad at yourself because you were in a routine, because you were in a rut and you don't want to be out of your rut? And what on earth? Oh, here I was thinking what I do with my other things. But are you mad? Are you mad? Do you have displaced anger? My gosh, I'm seeing long-term Weight Watchers. If it's not working for you and you're genuinely working the plan, if none of these things are affecting you, you just genuinely are not able to follow the plan, then you know, that's one thing. But if you're just mad at Weight Watchers because you don't want to change what you were doing, you know, if you were in a rut, oh man, it's already a ding. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit over on this one. So yeah, Darcy said creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. So if this took you out, so if the change to freestyle took you out of your comfort zone and you are unwilling to try anything, you're unwilling to do anything. We've got a girl in our group who is a very, very extremely picky eater, and she's struggling a little bit, but her attitude is, I want to keep losing weight. I've lost X amount of weight. I think it's like, I don't know, I think it's like 30 pounds, 35 pounds, I think. So her attitude is, I'm not giving up. I am not going to throw this out, you know, just because I'm mad, you know, just because it's uncomfortable for me. So instead of being mad at Weight Watchers, and instead of being mad at Oprah, and instead of being mad at people who are doing well, she has taken this into her own hands, and her attitude is, I'm going to figure out how this works for me. So what she has done, and her name's Sherry, so hi Sherry if you're there, but what Sherry has done, she's an extremely picky eater. So what she's done is every week she's trying to take a recipe that is familiar to her. So it's a recipe that she already knows, she already makes, and she already loves. And she's changing one thing about it to incorporate some of the Smart Points foods that she didn't think she was going to like. So she's taking, again, a familiar recipe. Her attitude is awesome. She's taking a familiar recipe, something she already makes, knows how to do it, changing one thing to a Smart Points friendly, you know, like a 0 point food. And she's making this her own because her attitude is good. Okay, so you got to check your attitude. Check it. Okay, now the last one. Whew, and y'all have worked me into a tizzy. Can you see how much I'm sweating over here? Y'all have worked me up. Okay, whew. Okay, the last one, cherry picking. So if you weren't already mad at me, you're going to be mad at me now. Yeah, and Betty says, are there going to be notes? I really needed to do notes for this one. We'll see how long it takes so long to transcribe. We'll see. Okay. So, cherry picking. If you weren't already mad at me, or if you weren't already uncomfortable, or if you weren't already having, you know, whatever, some of you are going to be mad. There's a lot of cherry picking going on, and I do it too. It's me too. None of these are just you. None of them. They're me. They're other people. There are so many of us that are doing this. You know, we got to do this. We've got to get off. We've got to get off this plateau. We've got to get off this plateau. Okay, and I don't know what's going on with Heather, but I just saw everybody's going, wow, Heather, you know, whatever. So anyway, we'll go back to Heather. I'll find Heather in a few minutes. But the cherry picking, I don't want to lose you all. We only have a few minutes. I don't want to lose you before I get through cherry picking. Here is cherry picking. I'm going to track this, but I don't think I should have to track this. So I'm not going to write it down. Oh yeah, no, I should write down the grilled chicken that was 0. I'm writing that down, or I made a good choice at such and such, so I'm gonna write that down. But I'm not gonna write down the 2 bites of the cake that I ate because I don't think I should have to write that down. Or, so, you know, but cherry picking, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna show you 2 things that people are bad to cherry pick. Bad to cherry pick. So, here's one of them, and we briefly touched on this last week. Okay, so we didn't talk specifically about Crystal Light, but this is just an example. Okay, you all know that most chat nights and a lot of days, I drink out of this very, very cute, awesome RV tumbler that Popsicle got for me. But I have a lot of things that I drink out of that are this big. So at work, I have a coffee cup that's this big, you know, whatever. So this cup holds 2.5 servings of Crystal Light. Okay, so how many points is Crystal Light? And I'm just going to jump to the end because we literally only have a couple of minutes left. So Crystal Light, everybody knows Crystal Light. This is a diet drink alternative. It's not water. If you don't drink water, or like, excuse me, I can't drink soft drinks, so I drink a lot of Crystal Light. Okay, 1 cup of Crystal Light is a serving. So 1 cup is down here somewhere. That's 0 points. 2 cups is about right there. 2 cups is 0 Smart Points. Up to here, where I always fill this up to, that's 2.5 cups. Guess what? 2.5 cups is 1 Smart Point. So if I drink one of these every night, of Crystal Light lemonade or some, from Crystal Light, some kind of diet thing like that, that's 1 point. I need to track 1 point. And I know people right now are going, it's 1 point. It's 1 point. Yeah, but I drink the whole thing. If I'm going to do that, I drink that whole thing in probably an hour and a half or so. That's 1 point. 1 point, in case you can't do the math. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just making a point. 1 point a day in just that is 7 points a week. Yeah, and Myra said I didn't know that. Yeah, who knew? Because we're cherry picking, and sometimes it's not intentional, a lot of times it is, but we're cherry picking. If you choose not to count this, that's a point a day. That's a point a day. That's 7 points a week. That's 28 points a month, whatever. It's a lot. Okay, for that, here's my least favorite. This one I have actually got into little tiffs with people over on the cherry picking. Okay, and I wrote me and you all a note. Whether you count it or not, what goes past your lips heads to your hips. Seriously, whether you count it or not. If you don't write it down, if you decide you don't want to count it, if you say, I'm not counting that, that's silly, I'm not counting that. It doesn't matter whether or not you count it. Doesn't matter whether or not you count it. You should, and you should write it down. But if you're in a plateau, and if you're blaming Weight Watchers or you're blaming, everybody else for your plateau, you don't know what's going on, look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff, because if you're not writing it down, if you're not counting it, even if you've decided it's not something worthy of counting, count it just so you know, so you can say, oh, that's what happened. Because this one, cough drops and gummy vitamins, these drive me crazy, because I see people all the time. Who will not count these. I don't want to count them. If I'm sick, I don't want to count cough drops. And if you have to take a gummy vitamin, I mean, really, what adults are taking a gummy vitamin? I don't know. Maybe you have special circumstances that you need gummies. Maybe you can't swallow pills. But these do have points. So people who say, I'm sick, I'm not going to count them, that's when you should count them, because then, when you're up, you'll know what happened. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I knew I wouldn't get the exact number out. Okay, so 9. So here are 9 cough drops. That's just 9. Okay, 9 cough drops. So would everybody agree that if you're really sick and you have a cough and you're congested and your nose is all stopped up and whatever, that you're highly likely to eat 9 or to suck on 9 cough drops in a day? Probably, yeah. Okay, so, and I will say this, Janet says she buys the sugar-free ones. Okay, yes, Janet, that's great. They still have points. They don't have this many points, but they still have points. I cannot do the sugar-free cough drops. Let's just say the artificial sweetener that's in it causes me other issues. And we're not going to talk about that tonight. But anyway, so 9 cough drops. And you would consume that in a day if you didn't feel good. 9 cough drops is 3 smart points. And the average cold lasts 7 to 10 days. So if you had 9 cough drops a day, and that's no cough drops at night, that's just during the day. So if you had 9 cough drops a day times 3 smart points times 7 days, if I did the math right, that's 21 smart points. 21. Yeah. So stop cherry picking. I know it's not fair, but sometimes life is not fair. So some things I don't want to count. Some things I'm the same way. I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to have to count that. Why do I have to count that? That's not fair. But you're not being fair to yourself. You're not being fair to yourself if you don't count them. Cough syrup has sugar in it. Cough drops, obviously have calories in them. I'm telling the gummy vitamins, I'm just on that one because that one drives me insane. We had a girl that was, I think she was in the private group, and honestly, it hadn't occurred to her, how many points she was using, but she was like, vitamins, really? I don't think I should have to count vitamins. Okay, well, if you don't want to count them, but it was like, I want to say it was like 30 points a week. Yeah, like 30 that she was going over. So she was using her points, doing great, doing everything else well, but she was going over her points by 30. So like a day's worth of points. So she had 8 days and her 7 every single week because of gummy bears. Stop cherry picking. Stop it. If you cherry pick, you're gonna have consequences. Okay, so all of these, hopefully, everybody, and I've just made my computer freak out, so hopefully everybody found one or more of these Plateau things that, let me get my computer going here again, hopefully everybody found one or more of these that were you, because you might be doing everything right. You might be, counting, think you're counting everything correctly. You might be exercising. You might be doing a whole lot of things right, and you just didn't know that you were bored and needed to mix up your food a little bit. You didn't know that you were trying too hard to earn your blue dots, that you were spending, way too many points at the end of the day. You didn't know that your Crystal Light, had points in it after a certain amount. You just didn't know. So, okay, did everybody find something? Because I know there were 1 or 2 of you all that said, oh my gosh, I think Carol, you were one of them, that said that none of these had applied to you yet. So hopefully everybody has found one. We didn't do too terrible on time. I mean, I literally could have talked about them forever. I think Dusty is out here if you wanted to see Dusty. But so your homework for next week. So listen to me. Your homework for this week. I'm not going to tell everybody to have an attitude adjustment, even though I had to have one with myself. But I can tell you the couple of these that were me, and I stopped and was on starting on Wednesday. I can already tell a difference. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have, decent results on Tuesday at my weigh-in. Even if it's not weight, remember, it's not always about weight. I can tell it in my clothes and I can tell it in my Fitbit. So your homework for this week is to name your plateau. So if your plateau is one of these, great. Name it. Write it down somewhere. Write it on an index card, write it on a piece of paper, write it down somewhere. Write it on a wipe-off board. Did y'all know you can use wipe-off pens on your, like dry erase markers? You can use them on your bathroom mirror. Did y'all know that? So write down your plateau somewhere. Name it. If it's one of these, great. If it's not one of these, if you figured out, like if you had a light bulb, a light bulb moment during the chat and you went, oh my gosh, my plateau is X, write it down. Then I want you to pick one thing for tomorrow that you can do to